Hello and welcome back. So in the last video, we created these consume auth email messages. I already explained what this assert exchange, assert queue, bind queue, and the consume method from the channel object does. Now let us use this method. We are going to use it in the server.ts file. Remember that it takes in this channel. Okay, so let's go to our server.ts file. And also remember that this create connection, it returns a channel. Okay, you can see it right here, or undefined. If there's an error, it returns undefined. Otherwise, it returns a channel. So what we need to do here is const email channel. Okay, so I'll set this and let me cast it as channel from AMQP library. Okay, so the results will be here. Now what we need to do is call auth and then consume email auth email messages. I can import this and then I need to pass in the email channel. Okay, so let me just do this. This is just all we need to do right here in order for us to be able to consume the messages. We are passing in this channel. Now, if the channel does not exist, we create a new channel and then it calls this other part of the code. Okay, now let's go ahead and see the RabbitMQ dashboard. Okay, so if you go to, first let's go to Docker Compose. Now, if you go to Docker Compose, you can see here, this is the protocol we are using to connect. If you remember in our .env file, you can see we are using the port number and the protocol is AMQP, and then our user and password. Okay, that is what we are going to use also to access the dashboard, and the dashboard port is 15672. Okay, so copy that, go to your dashboard, localhost 152, or rather, oh, there's a mistake, localhost. Okay, now if you have make sure you have RabbitMQ running. Okay, make sure you have it running, and then you can access the dashboard from here, and then you add the user and password you created. So okay, now this is the RabbitMQ dashboard. Okay, right here. Now overview, we have okay, yeah, this is just an overview from what it's using on the current machine, disk space, memory, and all that. Now if you go to connections, you can see we have a connection and the username is what we set as the user. Okay, and now let's check our channels. Okay, we have one channel. Okay, remember when we created right here, we also created a channel. Where is it? We called the create channel method. Okay, and then let's go to exchanges. Now what you can see, the exchange, the names or the exchange types you can see right here are the default exchange names. Direct this from here up to this part is from RabbitMQ, but for the exchange that I created already, you can see Jobber email notification. You can see it right here. You can see the one that I created, and it's a direct exchange. So you have direct, you have fan out, headers, topic. The one I created right now is a direct exchange. Okay, and it is durable. We set the name to durable, and now you can see the routing key. Okay, you see the routing key, and that exchange will be routed to the auth email queue. Now let's check our queues. Right now we have only one queue. Okay, there are no messages in the queue. Okay, right here you can see the exchange name, the routing key to this particular queue. Okay, so now let's see how we can easily test this. Now because the messages will be coming from the auth service, what we can do is just publish a message here and see if we can actually use it. Okay, we already have a channel, so let's try this here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, if you want to send a message, you have to assert the queue. That is like creating the queue, or the exchange name, I beg your pardon. So it's going to be let's say await email channel dot assert exchange, and then we pass the exchange name. This is the exchange name. Okay, and then we pass the type. What type? Direct exchange. Okay, so the exchange already exists, so we are just asserting it. And then let us publish, say email channel dot publish. Sometimes you see some tutorials or some documentation, they will use send to queue. Okay, it also works. Okay, so here we pass in, it takes exchange routing key and your content. Okay, it can be a buffer. Okay, so here I'll pass in the exchange name, and then I'll pass in the routing key. So this is the routing key. You don't need to worry about passing in the queue name, okay, because the queue will only be created here, okay, with this bind queue. Okay, so don't worry about, we assert the queue, and if it does not exist, then it will create the queue. Okay, and then we need to set the message that we want to send. Now the message here, it says content is of type buffer. Okay, so what I'll do is buffer dot from, and maybe let's say name jobber. Okay, and I think we need to stringify, yeah, we need to stringify this. Let me do something. Const message equal to JSON dot stringify. Okay, and then pass in the message right here. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, so now if I save this, I hope it will just publish a message. Okay, and then let's open, we will see the result right here. I'll save this, and now you can see the message is displayed. We publish the message, and you can see it here in the console because we are consuming it. Okay, we are consuming it right here. You can see the message here. And let's go to the dashboard. If I go to email queue, you can see it has one unacknowledged message because we are not acknowledging the message. So the message, even though it is consumed, it will still remain in the queue. Okay, so go to email queue. Okay, so right here we can get messages. We set no acknowledge. Okay, probably, okay, it has been consumed, but it still remains in the queue. So I think we can only maybe consume once, I guess so. But we have one acknowledged message in the queue right here. Okay, but it seems like we cannot, the message has been consumed, but we cannot get it again. Okay, but the idea is that we have the unacknowledged message. It has been consumed here. Now, in order for us to consume this, all we just need to do is we call channel dot arc, and then we pass in the message. So I'll save this. Now it will restart, consume the message, display it. Now you can see we acknowledged the messages, all the messages in the queue. Remember, this arc method can acknowledge maybe a single message or all messages you have in the queue. Now you can see we have 2 messages. Now if I go back, we have 0 messages in the queue right here. Okay, so that is just how it works. We publish a message. This will come from the auth service, and then we consume the message here. We get the data, we send the email, and then once the email is sent, we consume the message. Okay, what we'll need to do later is to create the send email method.